Guys, I've played over 1,000 hours of Dragonheir Silent Gods / Dragonstride Legacy Reborn. I have two different accounts. I have a whale account because I'm a filthy degenerate gambler, a filthy degenerate spender. And I have a free-to-play account because I wanted to experience the game from both points of view and kind of like see how the game feels like. In today's video, we're going to do an honest review. Basically, we're going to talk about the good, we're going to talk about the bad. I'm going to give some constructive feedback as well in this video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you feel like you need to add anything or if you disagree with anything, drop it in the comments down below. Now, I've played the old version of the game, I've played the new version of the game, and I am personally still having a blast. I am currently at around day, where are we? Day 40 in, okay, on the new version after the relaunch. Is it worth playing the game in 2025? And is it worth giving it a shot after the relaunch? That's what we are going to discuss in today's video. Now, we're going to go over pretty much everything. The game's look, mechanics, game economy, etc. If you guys enjoy the content, do me a favor, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. I am doing daily guides, news, tips and tricks, and everything else that you need to know about Dragonheir Silent Gods. Let's start with the game's design, graphics. We start with the good things, then we're gonna dive into the bad things. Without a doubt, in my opinion, Dragonheir Silent Gods is far superior to any other game from this genre. When we're talking about graphics. Yes, I am a Rage Shadow Legends player, okay? I've played that game for the last 6-7 years, since the very beginning. I've played King Arthur, I've played Watcher of Realms, I've played tons of those games, okay? And in my opinion, the graphics in this game are far superior to any of those games. We're talking from the character development, we're talking about boss development, and in-battle graphics, because a lot of the games have very good graphics when you're going on the character design, but then when you go into the battle, you're like, what the F is this, right? They do not look like that at all. But in Dragonheir Silent Gods, they actually do. Not just the characters, but the bosses are crazy good. So when we're looking at some of these freaking designs, they are doing an insane job with the character design. I do tend to like the darker theme more than the rest, so maybe that's one of the main reasons why I think that this is the best from this point of view. Not to basically disrespect any of you guys, but this does not even compare with the Genshin Impact and the anime gacha games, okay? Like, the graphics from those games are potatoes compared to the graphics from this game. And no, this is not a sponsored video, it's literally an honest review. Like, look at the character design. They look absolutely amazing, okay? Like, they've done an insane job with all of the designs on the characters. Like, you have a bunch of them, right? Crazy good. But leaving all that on the side, let's quickly talk a bit about the bosses, right? So if we're gonna go to the Temporal Vortex, that's a boss that you're gonna see every single day for the rest of your life, at least in Season 1, because I know in some other seasons we'll change it. And we're gonna talk about seasons in a second. So, basically, that is, I would say, clan boss, but it's not really a clan boss. It's more like a world boss that does not have unlimited HP, where all of your server will contribute to it. You position your characters, they still look exactly the same as you've seen them in the index. And I'm quickly going to jump into a fight. We're not going to do the whole fight or anything like that. But the graphics are actually top-notch. And you have 1x speed, 2x speed, 3x speed, 4x speed, which, you know what, is a massive thing in my opinion, because that just shows you that the developers are valuing our precious time. I do not want to stay in here on a 2x speed on any of the games. It doesn't matter how good that game is, okay? And a lot of other games should take notes and learn from what they are doing in this one. So graphic-wise, top-notch. When we're talking about game mechanics, strategies, it goes very in-depth, because the game has a grid battle system, unlike most of the games where you're just literally throwing in your characters and let them do whatever they want, right? It's very important to position your characters. You see the grid battle system. Now, in some battles, it might look a bit different, but it's all about positioning. When we're talking about the character skills, it's all about the way they do damage on the board, you see? So right here, we're attacking a single target. If we're going to Caspar, or attacking a single target. If we're going to average, for example, we have an AoE that's literally 3 tiles by 3 tiles. Then you have different characters that will actually do damage in a diamond shape, for example. So positioning your characters in the right way is going to be very, very important. Then you can actually trick bosses by positioning your characters in tons of different clever ways to do not get hit by their AoE attacks. So in terms of strategy, is really, really is going really, really in depth, right? Like, it's not just throw your characters and spray and pray. It goes to the next level, which is something that I really, really like. And in terms of gameplay, because of it, I think is one of the best RPG gacha games that I've played. I wouldn't necessarily say that is the best, but definitely one of the best, right? At least from the auto AFK genre is definitely the best. There are some different games where it requires you to do a lot of manual, which I think the game play can be more interactive, but I think they're very, very different. So I don't think it would be fair to compare that. And before I forget about it, guys, the game has some of the craziest QOL things in all of the games that I've played from this genre. You have the ability to swap gear on your characters by literally tapping a button. So you have gear presets. They're not related to a dungeon or to a particular content. You have all of these themes right here. You just do this, bang, you brought this theme in here, right? I want to change the theme. I want to bring this one. You've done that, bang, you brought the theme in here. So this feature is absolutely goated. It's free to move gear around. You have no cost for it. And we have some other crazy things as well. And that is related to insta battles in a lot of the content. You have 2x, 3x, 4x speed. And they even have an inbuilt game gear optimizer where you can literally select how to build your character. They have some basic builds right here that you can just follow, or you can make your own based on the best gear you have available on your account and get the craziest build you could potentially do on your account. But the QOLs, as I've mentioned, they are top notch. When we're talking about in-game economy, I think they've done an amazing job from that point of view, because they are doing tons of events. The rewards that you're getting from different game modes are much, much better. So you're getting 2 summons a day just from doing the Temporal Vortex. Guaranteed, okay? As long as you reach the high damage threshold, which is extremely easy to do. And if we're talking about scrolls, if we're talking about pretty much all of the other resources that the game kind of like has to offer, from that point of view, I think they nailed it. I'm not saying that is perfect. I know you always want to get more. But leaving that part on the side, comparing it with other games, I think they really, really did an amazing job with the in-game economy. Now, if we are talking about different things, and we're talking about rewards, we're talking about events, great stuff comparing it with the old version, because every week, every second week, you're going to get a brand new event. So this is the event that started today. You're going to have to do a few fights. It's not necessarily the best event in terms of content, at least not this one. But in terms of rewards, having these shops every time when you get an event, allowing you to purchase more summons, more scrolls, more goodies, really, really good. We have a lot of events that give you free legendaries. Unlike other games that are literally draining your resources to be able to get the legendary character, this game gives you resources and the legendary character by participating in the event. And you're getting a lot of scrolls, you're getting gems, you're getting summons, you're getting stamina. You're getting pretty much everything that is related to the in-game economy. That's why I've said that the in-game economy, I think, is flawless in Dragonheir Silent Gods in this version. Now, in the previous version was a completely different story, but right now, I think this is perfect. And I'm saying that from the free-to-play perspective. As I've mentioned, I have a free-to-play account that is doing all of the endgame content, and I don't feel like I'm struggling with resources. Yes, it would be great if I would have more legendary scrolls to scroll all of my legendary characters, But that is a bit unrealistic in any game, to be honest, because it is a marathon rather than a sprint where day one, bang, I scrolled 200 legendary characters, GG's. What's the point of grinding the content after, right? But considering that you're playing tons of different game modes, they will all give you very valuable resources. And these events are really, really good. Now, unlike the other RPG gacha games that you probably played, this has a seasonal system, which can be as a good thing or it can be more of a bad thing, depending on how used you are to play the other games and how easy you can adapt to other environments. So right here you have the Clepsydra. This is Season 1 Gate of Chaos. They tend to last around 60 to 70 days. And most of your rewards, at least at the end of the season, will come from the seasonal leaderboard. Is that whole idea of feeling like you are competing for something rather than just playing the game endless for an endless amount of time and not really getting any benefits out of it. So you have leaderboards, you have the season split into season phase 1, season phase 2, season stage 3, which will basically all give you rewards. Some scrolls, you're going to get some other goodies, and then at the end, you're going to get some supreme summoning tickets, you're going to get some more summons and more scrolls, and some cosmetics. That being said, I think this is definitely not a bad system. Now, for some people, I feel like it will be a bit of an issue, the fact that you get a reset every season. What does the reset actually mean? It means that you're going to have to level up your characters again from level 1 to level 100, which in the new version is extremely, extremely easy to do, because unlike other games, when you're leveling up your main account level, all of your characters will be at that level. You see, I have literally every single character in the game at level 100. It's extremely easy to raise their levels. And for some people, this might feel a bit odd, but it's basically like you start a new race. Okay, there is no race in the world that will go on forever. It will finish at some point, and then next year it will start again. Well, that's how the seasonal system works. Every 67 to 70 days, the season ends, and then a new one starts, which will bring in new content, it will bring in new rewards, and in some cases, new characters as well. I don't think that that is a bad thing at all. Personally, I like the idea. The reset was pretty bad on the previous version, but the changes that they actually got implemented are much, much better. Yes, you will lose the gear. You will have the option to take 4 pieces of gear with you into the new season, and you can pick the best pieces that you have available. That is, again, not a problem, because in this game, you're not going to farm gear non-stop to put a different set on every single character that you have in the game. You have very good team presets which will enable you to swap gear just like that. So you can use the exact same gear set on all of your characters if you want to, okay? As long as it's not used by another character in the same team, because, hey, that doesn't really make sense. So in reality, you only really need 5 good sets, 6 good sets if you want to swap it around. Which, once again, does not really make it a problem when we're talking about seasonal reset. And considering that you can take 4 of the best pieces with you into the next season, that is huge. Now, new seasons will bring in new gear sets as well. That's why having this reset on the gear is not a problem. This is not the same game like the other RPG gacha games where you need to keep the gear forever and you need to have a different gear set for all of your characters, okay? You have no cost in removing the gear, swapping the gear and stuff. Now, you're not going to lose the reset in terms of skills on your characters. You're not going to lose your artifacts. You're not going to lose your gems, your summons. None of the premium currencies, none of the currencies that are basically important. Yes, you're going to lose the gold, but who gives a damn? It's so easy to get gold in the game. Yes, you're going to lose some of the essence of creation, and your artifacts will go back to level 1, but that's not going to be a problem, again, because you're going to get that essence of creation back, at least a good chunk of it, that will enable you to, once again, level up your artifacts, but you will be gated in the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks by the progression. So when we're talking about seasonal reset, let's just say for some people, it might be like a flaw rather than a good thing. But personally, I am used to it. I've adapted to it pretty easily. And I do like the idea of competing in a new season for new rewards, new content, etc. But I will be doing a different video where we're going to go over the seasonal reset, guys, and explaining you everything that you need to know. Do not stress about it, because everything that's important, you're going to keep, okay? That does not reset. You're not going to lose characters or anything like that. I feel like we pretty much talked about most of the things that matter in terms of good things, game design, strategies, and stuff like that. You have a bunch of different bosses, tons of dungeons. In terms of content, gameplay, you're gonna have a lot of things to do. These are all of the dungeons, gear dungeons, and you have kind of like tampering, which is enhancing the stats on your gear. These are the growth dungeons. You have the goblin, which is the XP dungeon, which I haven't farmed since I've got to level 100 a very long time ago. Then you have the talent dungeons, which you will have to refarm again, most likely. And then you have the temporal vortex. You will have an alliance boss as well, which is really, really important too, because it gives you a lot of rewards. And of course, you have this chest that gives you a lot of scrolls, master pages for the scrolls, which will enable you to basically forge them or fuse them. You have a lot of exchange shops that will enable you to purchase tons of different goodies from all of them. So basically, content-wise, I feel like the game has a lot of content. Like, it's not something that, oh my god, I've done everything in 10 minutes. There's nothing to do anymore in the game. Because I think you really have a lot of stuff to do. You have 3 PvP game modes, arena modes. You have an endless game mode like the Ancestral Ruins. Some co-op where you team up with friends to defeat a boss, get some rewards. Pretty decent. I would like to see more of this type of game modes in the future though. And you have an exploration game mode, like an open world. You have tons of different areas. You go, you defeat enemies, you collect some of the chests, and those are giving you tons and tons of rewards as well. And you have a storyline. From the storyline point of view, I think is a very well done storyline. They definitely invested a lot of money into making that storyline for the lore enjoyers. I'm not one of them. I'm skipping through all of the storyline, but I've heard a lot of good things from the other players that are actually into reading, hearing the storyline, and all that stuff. But that's just not for me. Now, let's quickly talk a bit about some of the other things. Offers in-game for spenders. While you are starting the season with, I would say, quite a few different offers, I would love to see them bringing in more special offers that give you more value for your bucks, okay? They don't need to bring in crazy offers all the time, but whenever they have a new event, I think if they can bring in a couple of better offers, that would be amazing, right? So that's something that I would recommend them to do. You can purchase tons of cosmetics as well, which I think is great for the game because that will generate more revenue for the developers. Now, let's quickly talk about the bad things, because every game has good and bad things. There is no perfect game out there, at least not in my opinion. I feel like one of the main things is the server situation. We started basically with 1 million servers for veterans, for new players, that basically divided all of the communities because the servers were full. So it was a big fiasco at the beginning. Now, when you start playing it, at the moment, you're not going to have that issue. But for a lot of OG players, new players that wanted to play with friends, that could possibly be an issue. Yes, you can invite players in your alliance if they haven't started on any servers. If they already started on a server, you cannot bring that account in. So I would suggest the developers to introduce a one-time only exclusive currency that will enable your character to migrate onto a different server. Now, this can have positive things and bad things as well, negative effects, because if you have it more than once, people will exploit that to jump from server to server to basically aim for weaker servers so they can rank on higher, to rank higher on the leaderboards. And I think that's something that needs to be taken into consideration. I think giving every player the option to migrate one time in their lifetime is a good thing, because if I want to play with my friends, I'm going to go to their server. But if I have unlimited ones, well, I'm going to go to that server. You know, I don't like it because there are too many competitive players. I want to go to a different server. So having too many of that is of those is not good. So one time only, I think the devs can definitely make that happen, and that will fix a bit the fiasco that we had with the server creation. Then, one of the other cons is the fact that if you start playing right now, each server will have its own lifespan, to say like this, and you're not going to be on day 40 with me. You're going to start on your server on day 1. Now, this has positive things and negative things, because if you start on day 40 with me, that means that you're going to miss out on all of the events that I took part in these 40 days. You're going to miss on rewards, you're going to miss on characters, etc. So from that point of view, having this system is good. You're going to start on day 1, which means that when you're going to watch one of my videos, or when you're going to see what your friends are doing that recommended you to start playing the game, you'll be like, well, I don't have that in game. I don't want to play like this, right? So that is a problem. I feel like it's more of a problem than a good thing for the rewards. I think they can work around it somehow. Basically, in the first, let's just say 2, 3, 4 weeks, they can release all of the content, all of the events, everything that we took part in. Maybe not as individual events, maybe something that will give you a huge amount of rewards that will enable you to pretty much get what we've got, except the daily stuff that we're doing. And that will more or less put you not necessarily in the same position with us, but it will give you a good advantage. And like this, you can continue by playing in Season 3, in Season 4, in Season 5. But they need to work on this. This is the only thing, this is the biggest issue that the game has at the moment. Dividing the community is something that will not work forever, okay? That being said, let's move on to the next thing. And I want to talk about stamina. So you are pretty limited with the stamina in the game. When you start playing in the first few weeks, you're getting less. Then the seasonal progression happens. You're getting more and more and more. At the beginning, it might feel like I need more stamina. I want more stamina. I need more stamina. And I agree. Now, once you move past day 25, day 30, stamina is not an issue anymore. Because as I was saying, you do not play this game like the other games where you want to farm gear non-stop to get a perfect god roll, because that is pointless. They have events every season that will enable you to craft, forge the most OP piece of gear that you want to get. You choose all of the stats, you choose all of the rolls. Insane. The best event ever in terms of gear for any game that I've played. So you can always move those pieces with you into the next season, into the next season, into the next season, till you have that 4 perfect mythical pieces. So there is a lot of RNG with farming gear. One thing that I would say, while you're progressing through the game, you are getting tons of different pieces of gear. I feel like they need to give them to you with the exact same stats to all of the players, just at the beginning. So they reduce a bit of RNG and the fatigue of farming the gear for the perfect roll. That would be a massive win for the community, because they won't feel that stressed. Oh, I have bad luck with the gear drops, etc. So it might feel at the beginning that you don't have enough stamina. The reason why the game doesn't sell stamina and stuff like that is because the gear resets. If you spend 100, 200 bucks on stamina, you're gonna cry. Well, why did my gear reset, right? And I feel like they just do not go hand in hand. But that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be giving us a bit more stamina at the beginning. The main reason for it is the fact that me, you, and all of you guys coming from different RPG gacha games are used to have, I can say unlimited stamina if you're spending enough money, right? And when you come into the game and you feel like, oh my god, I have 200 stamina today or 300 stamina, that's it, right? You want to play the game more. So in order for the game developers to basically create a better engagement, they need to give more stamina at the beginning. But as you guys can probably notice, I'm at a stage right now where I don't really need to use this stamina, okay? I don't need it. I can use it if I want to try and get something. I might get something, I might not, but I don't necessarily need to go and use it instantly because I don't feel like I'll be gaining much value at the moment from it because the stamina is increasing, the stamina that you're getting, okay? The more you progress into the season. So you're getting more and more and more. But still, in the first 2-3 weeks, giving you more stamina, it would be amazing. Then, talking about one of the next things that I kind of like have on my mind is about the way they unlock the content and progression at the beginning. Now, that's something that I'm not able to display in game because I'm far past that stage. But I feel like you have the content gated, right, at different stages. And then all of a sudden, from stage 12 in the dungeons, you jump straight to stage 20, okay? And that, I feel like, is bad. I talked about this topic with different creators as well. The whole idea is that free-to-play players might see some of the veteran players, some of the whale players, jumping straight to stage, I don't know, from stage 12 going to stage 19. And the rest of the players will be stuck at 14, 15. And they'll be like, what the heck? They won't like that. So I feel like when they are gradually unlocking the progression, they should do stage 12, stage 16, stage 16, stage 20. Because like that, they will encourage the players to farm a little bit the lower stages, get better gear, and then move on to the higher stages without feeling like it's impossible. If you start or you try to jump from stage 12 without farming any of the lower stages to stage 20, you're going to get destroyed because your gear sucks, okay? You're not going to have the right sets, okay? It's not even about having perfect substats. It's the fact that you're not going to be able to get the right sets on your characters. So that will overall cause frustration and most likely cause people to give up and eventually, most likely, quit the game, okay? So it's about them finding that fine line in between the stages, unlock the content, the same for everybody. Don't allow a huge jump because that will literally create issues for the majority of the player base, including casual players. That being said, guys, more or less we kind of like covered pretty much everything that I wanted to discuss in today's video. As I've mentioned, there are good things, there are bad things, but personally, I am very, very positive about Dragonheir Silent Gods. The changes that they've implemented in the Reborn version with the relaunch, absolutely amazing. While that being said, there are still some flaws that can definitely be worked on to basically improve the gaming experience for all of the players. Now it's up to the developers if they will decide to basically act on this and actually fix some of these core issues that could potentially just cause them to lose players in the longer run. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As usual, much love, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.